Hello, I'm Quinn and welcome to Township's Finest, the first edition of where I'll have people come on the show, talk about sports, music, anything, talents, some interesting people just to come on here and talk about their thoughts. So, for the first edition, we're gonna have some two upcoming seniors on the football team. Talk about maybe the past season, the future. They came up short this year, went 6-5 with the disappointing end. But they're going to talk to you guys about what we've heard just about the upcoming season. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Austin Day and Jake Laubach. Woo! Woo! Yeah. How are you guys? How you guys doing today?
How are you?
Good. I'm great.
Tough loss this year, guys. Tough loss. I was actually part of your team, so really? I can relate to this. So, yeah. What has changed since this historic senior class has left?
I think the energy has gone up. You know, we see what we can do with our team, and we see what we did wrong last season, and I think our team chemistry this year is through the roof, and I really think that next year is a great opportunity to show the whole LL League what Township really is.
Now you two were one of the only two in the 2023 class to really start these games. You know, playing through injury. It was tough. You almost had to put your egos aside, especially you two. Jake, has the ego problem changed or gotten worse?
I feel like the ego problem has definitely gotten a lot better because we saw how it affected the team last year, and the culture has just gotten better to the point where everybody feels equal at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from my experience, I mean, there were guys skipping practice, guys that you think you could count on, and it hurt not having them there, especially when you thought they were leaders. Another thing I preached when I was an underclassman coming up in the program, it was a weight room, and I know Evan said the same thing. I know he's still talking about that. Austin, how has the weight room changed, or has it?
I mean, it's always been the same. I mean, Township, we've always been in the weight room. I mean, last year, how many guys we had? Like 80 guys, 90 guys almost in the class. I mean, we had the same numbers this year coming into morning lifting. It's not about being in the weight room, it's about working in the weight room, because you see the guys that are in the weight room, but you don't see them actually working. So, I mean, I think it's all about work ethic, and that is something that we have struggled with. But, you know, over the past, 2 weeks, I think we've seen an incline of guys, and this upcoming freshman class is doing a great job getting their whole class there and working hard.
That's great. Yeah, and that's what we needed. Because people like to pick and choose when they want it to come, and if that changes, that'll be great. So, question for Jake: Are people being held accountable? Because I think last year people weren't, and I've said this before. People skipped and things. So,
well, I think last year with the juniors and seniors kind of had to step up and take leader roles in lifting groups because the seniors weren't doing their job, and I think that carried over into this year, where now that they're seniors and upperclassmen, that's definitely helped with us, definitely taking control over the underclassmen.
I mean, how have you guys stepped up as leaders? Because it's kind of surreal seeing you guys as the seniors. You know, you guys are. I mean, I almost see you guys as the little brothers, not in a bad way, but you're taking over now, and now the driver's seat is yours. So, I mean, how have you guys stepped up in your leadership?
I think we've just done a good job communicating to everyone, especially the underclassmen. Obviously the sophomores from last year, which are going to be the upcoming juniors, they've done a good job, and they're a great class, but they've done a good job of being on time, being at everything, and working hard. But the upcoming freshmen or sophomores, freshmen now, upcoming sophomores, I feel like we've done a good job communicating with them, hey, we're going to go to Weaver, hey, be at the weight room after school. And now, it's not optional. You have to be at lifting now, but I just think we've just done a good job communicating, get everyone together, and we're like becoming a team in January, whereas like we started to become a team last year in like mid-October.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you had guys online. You guys had, I mean, people getting contact traced, and now it's different. I think what you said with chemistry. What should people? I mean, Jake, you can answer this. What should people know about the team's process in the offseason, how it comes along? Because I think people from the outside don't always get it.
Yeah, well, we've been having like morning throwing with the wide receivers, quarterback, running backs before we even started anything. We were already thinking about next season right when this past season ended. And I think going from that, we've gone into morning lifting, and you can still hit the weight room after school, and we've gone to Weaver, like Austin said. And from that, we're just going to go to summer lifting. It just never stops. And we're going to have scrimmages and days where we go play against 7-on-7 against other teams, and starting in Nook soon.
Yeah, and I don't think, when I played, I didn't see many other sports really put the time into that. And I think people get carried away of, it's just Friday night lights. But that's the payday, and that's what you guys got your first taste of it. I basically got my first taste of it after the one season I was out. Should people respect the process more? Because I feel like people don't. I said that before. Austin, what do you think?
I understand where they're coming from. I mean, football guys have ego.
It's the typical, yeah.
Everyone, we're egotistical. But, I feel like me and Jake have done a good job of putting it aside. But, until you go through the process, I don't really think you really have that much room to talk, because you haven't really gone – you haven't gone through basically like 9 months of just non-stop football. I mean, we play lacrosse, and half of lacrosse season we're thinking about football. I mean, we're going to football workouts on the weekends. We're lifting in the morning every day. Like
it's football season. It's football season all year long. I just it sucks when this team, especially last year. We keep talking about it. We had the banquet. It sucks when you see the potential and the athletes that we pull out of this whole district come short, because just the teams that we're losing to, like we lose to Central York. I mean, my freshman class, we beat them by 40, and I know a lot changes, but it doesn't add up, some of the stuff. Losing to Hempfield, it's just, what do you guys think, like, what needs to change? Like, what were the flaws you saw last year in our year that need to change for next year?
I think overestimating our own ability and underestimating other teams. Like even going against Bo Kabula against Central York, we still even underrated him then, saying he didn't deserve it to go there, but obviously he does, because he made us look like we were terrible.
Yeah, you can answer that question too.
With what you said about, like, you beat Central York as freshmen, and like your grade, like you guys had so much success in youth football and like fresh football. We were the opposite way. We got destroyed basically between all the way through youth, and now like freshman year you started to see an incline, and you're kind of like, it took a little bit of a pause sophomore year, but it's still going. Like we're back now. There's only like 4 or 5 of us that played last year in varsity games as juniors, but I think we haven't really experienced what it's like to be a winning team, whereas you guys like that was your life.
It was expected.
Yeah, and now like that's what we're working for. So I just think that this upcoming season is like finally where like our class can show everyone like what we're finally made of. Coach Evans does this all the time. We're like the forgotten class.
That's exactly.
We're outshined by Hayden Johnson and your class. Like Hayden Johnson's class, 24s and the 22s, and we're right in the middle.
And there's a chance that you could beat out our record last year. There's no doubt. Because I know the players that are still going to play next year. I know the underclassmen, and they're not. You guys are getting another talented sophomore class coming up. There's no reason that you guys shouldn't be in the mix. You're going to have Harrisburg next year, Cumberland Valley to open it. We're coming, and you know, people don't know, but we know what happened in the camp against Cumberland Valley. and it was lights out. It was people going at it with each other. It happened when I was a freshman in 2018, where there was a fight and it was huge. But the one last year was like, I mean, it felt like a game. It felt like a game. So yeah, I'm excited to see you guys. It sucks that we couldn't make it farther, but you guys are still a part of that team, that team from last year, and you're going to be able to rewrite your destiny. So, yeah, I thank you guys for coming on. It's been a good time. Yeah, once again, I'm excited to see you guys. So, that's going to wrap it up for today. I had a good time coming on. It's not going to be just football. We're going to have other people on. I thought I'd just hit the ground running and hit a topic I'm pretty familiar on. And I love these guys. But I'm interested to see some other talents, some other slept on things in the school. So thank you guys. Jake Laubach and Austin Day. Woo! Yeah!